What's the conflict in the movie, and have you defined the problem consistently? So the conflict in the movie is that Bianca falls like in started to like Joey, which is the villain, and but as she had strict parents, his father won't let to date him unless her older sister. Oh no, what's the conflict in the movie, and have you defined the problem consistently? So the conflict in the movie is that Bianca wanted started to like Joey, which is the villain, but his father won't let her date him unless she her older sister have a boyfriend. So Joey, which is the villain, pay pay Patrick to date Kat, which is Bianca's sister. So if you were Kat, how would you describe the situation? So if I were Kat, I will like it was a strange situation because it's not normal somebody to date you like with someone paying you and you really don't know and falling in love with him, and so it would be a little strange for Kat and even for Patrick. What caused the conflict? Consider the story, the conflict, and the symptoms. So, what caused the conflict? Basically, Joey wanted to date the most beautiful woman, which is Bianca, and for him to date her, she had to make somebody date Kat. So he paid Patrick to date Kat. So he got out with him with what he wanted. Who sh- who should be loyal as members of a social group? I mean, if the ones who should be loyal in a social group should be your friends and the one you care of them. Describe the personal responsibility of Kat and Patrick versus the norms and policies of the social group. So the responsibility of Patrick was to not harm somebody's feeling for some money or making her to think that she was being loved. And Kat, I mean, she was a nerd, and her personal responsibilities, well, she was played, so she didn't have any responsibilities. How does his intention compare with the possible results? What are the negative or damaging consequences that result even with good intentions? I mean, Patrick intentions weren't good at first, but eventually he falls in love with Kat. But I think it was not good enough to let him a second chance as Kat did. But true love fight everything. With Patrick's decision, who or whom do they harm? I mean, principally they harm Kat because Patrick dated Kat at first because Joey paid him, and as he eventually falls in love, he realizes that she loved Kat, but it was too late. Well, not too late, but it was late, and he had to tell her, and Kat eventually forgive him, but it was very hard for Kat because he hurt her feelings a lot. Could he have discussed the problem with the people involved before making his decision? Well, yeah, because he did all that just for money, and he could just say no to Joey and tell him that it was bad, but he decided to take the money and date Kat. Is Patrick certain that her position with respect to this problem will be valid for the long term? Did he consider the long term consequences? I mean, definitely he didn't, because if he will think of the long term consequences, he will realize it that eventually Kat will fall in love with him, or either way. So yeah, so he didn't even plan to get in love with her, but I mean she did. What will happen if the bet will have been spread through social media? It would be a total disaster, because for Kat to know this to social media will be heartbroken to her, and yeah, and even for Bianca, because she will even didn't even date Joey, and then so yeah. And what do cat actions symbolize to others? Well, cat actions symbolize to others as she was a nerd, and she she was waiting for love to her, and she thought that what Patrick felt for her was real, but at first wasn't. But yeah, how could Patrick and Cameron actions be justified? Well, these actions can be really justified because, like, making start to dating someone just by money isn't justified with any actions or anything. Just he like Patrick actions were justified just because God forgave him, but because she was really in love with him, and Patrick also. But I mean, what will happen if Kat if Patrick will didn't fall in love with her? It will be very hard for Kat.